The most engaging, impactful, informative, and entertaining talk show ever. Get ready to hear the voices of many local, state, and national artists, musicians, comedians, pastors, athletes, and politicians. It's time for South Florida Live with Jeffrey Brown.
All right, it's that time. Yes, it's South Florida Live Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Brown. And I'm spending the evening, y'all, with the one and only, the lady. Yes, Madam Bobbie H. Grace. Rain on the thunder. It's freedom. Listen, when we vote, we win, y'all. We're going to talk about it. So come on in. Appreciate those that are coming in. Go ahead and hit the like and share button if you're on Facebook. Those that are viewing by YouTube, come on, hit the like and share. I need you to do that. And everyone that's coming on, I need you to hit the share button, please. I need 15 shares tonight. Let's go. I break chains all by myself. Won't let my freedom run. I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves. All right, let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. Come on, join me tonight. You do not want to miss this episode. Trust me. It's going to be power-packed, engaging, and full of knowledge and information on tonight. Okay? You don't want to miss it. Tag somebody. Text someone. Let them know the South Florida Live Podcast on. And I have the... Ooh, y'all, I got the guest of all guests on tonight. Yes. Forgive me, I've been running blind in truth. I'ma wait through your shadows till the deep I know. I'm telling these tears go and fall away. Oh, may the last one burn into flames. Freedom, I can't move. Freedom, I've been losing. Freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. I break chains. All right, come on, y'all, join me tonight. You don't want to miss it. I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves. All right, it's that time. It's that time. It's that time. It's that time. Once again, those that are viewing, I need you to please like and share. Those that are on, like and share, like and share. Those that are coming on, please like and share for me. You don't want to miss this. I need everyone that's coming on. I need you to hit the share button, okay? I need you to hit it for me now. Do that for me because we're going to get started because I'm going to bring her on because listen. I'm so excited. We couldn't get it done on yesterday, but we're going to get it today. Yes, we are. We are going to have it done. We're going to get it happening on today. And you don't want to miss this episode on tonight. Okay. So listen, I have her here. She's in the green room waiting. So we're going to get started and I'm going to bring her on. There she is, Madam Grace. There she
Hi,
goes.
how are
Good evening.
you?
I'm well. How are you this evening?
Wonderful.
It's so good to see you. we weren't connected last night, but we're on tonight.
We tried.
Yes.
We really tried. We tried.
Yes, ma'am. We are on tonight, though. I have you tonight. Yes, I do. I am so honored. I am so honored to have you on tonight. Listen, y'all, I'm so honored to have joining me on this evening, y'all, the former mayor of Dania Beach, the
former city commissioner, and a longtime Broward political figure, the one and only, y'all, Madam. I call her Madam, y'all. Bobbie H. Grace with me on this evening. God bless you. God bless you. So let's do it. Let's get right into it. Okay. So, but I'm gonna ask you this before we start. Because some of my viewers want to know. So I'm gonna ask you, and then you can go on and share with us a little something about you. So, so please share with me, share with my viewers. How long have you been? I say the heartbeat. I say this is me, y'all. This ain't her. This is not her word. I'm saying the heartbeat and the strong leader in the community of Dania Beach. How long have that been?
Well, first of all, let me back up and apologize for not being able to be on the program last night.
It's
We
okay.
really tried very hard because I thought that it was the perfect time for me to come on because we did the National Voters Registration Drive on yesterday where we reached out to so many people. But we're going to talk about that a little
Yes.
bit later. But I want
Yes.
to apologize to you and I want to apologize to your listeners and to the residents of Broward and Dade and Palm Beach County.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes we don't think that we can do certain things, and sometimes um, technology fools us and it does
Yeah.
it the way that it wants to do it. But by the grace of God, we are doing it tonight.
Yeah, and we have you
So,
tonight. That's
thank
that's
you.
the major thing. We got you tonight. Yesterday was there. We appreciate it, and it's fine. It's fine. Things happen. Like you say, technology nowadays. Sometimes we think it's up and then it's down. But we got you tonight. She's with us tonight, y'all, and I am so honored. So how long has it been?
Well, ironic enough, this year is the 35th year that I've been a public servant for Broward County, not only Dania Beach, but for Broward County. I actually started at the Planning and Zoning Committee at the Broward County office in Fort Lauderdale, and from there, the Charter Review Board. I worked under the leadership of someone that I admired so much, and he is a product of Hallandale. He was the principal and the assistant principal of Hallandale, Mr. Chester
Yes,
Bird.
ma'am.
Chester Bird was our first Black mayor of the city of Dania Beach. So I was one of those people, like most of us. We pass out flyers, we make the phone calls, we make sure that the meetings are set up. And I was a background person, whatever they needed me to do, I would do.
Yes, ma'am.
But something drastic happened in 1988. Chester got very sick, was going to have heart surgery, and on his way to do that, he passed away. I think, like my community, we were absolutely devastated. He only had 8 months left to
Right.
serve
Right.
for that physical year. So that would have been his seventh and a half year. But I could not get anyone to pick up the baton and run with it, especially the people that lived in his community, uh, to serve out his 8 months. And I just couldn't see this man giving his life to us like that, and we're not doing anything to work it out. So I reached out to all of the teachers and all of the business owners in College Gardens. That's where all the teachers lived. And I prayed and I asked somebody, please run for this seat. We need someone to carry on the job that Chester started. Make a long story short, nobody wanted to do it. So they said to me, but if you run, we will support you. And I said, run for what? I don't know anything about politics. They said, none of us really know about it, but we can learn about it.
Right.
So you understand what I'm saying? So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm doing this because I'm going to be setting them up later on because they've been talking about the vice president of the United States
Yes,
not
ma'am.
knowing.
I
So I'm
know
going to
we
be
had.
hitting them.
Yes,
I'm,
ma'am.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. But I believe that God gives us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to do those things that are pleasing in his sight. Chester died in 1988. I ran for office in 1989. There were 6 candidates. The other 5 candidates were all male and they were all white. And some of them were already in office and they were running for their seats again. This is the story that I got firsthand in my face. Who are you? Nobody knows who
Mm.
you are. Nobody's going to vote for you. We're not going to support you. We're not going to give you any money. And you're just wasting the taxpayers' time and energy. And I said, wow, that was really good. I said,
Wow.
and they meant it
Wow.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Because if you know the history of the city of Dania Beach, we're the oldest city in Broward County,
Yes, ma'am.
1904. The most redneck people that I could ever come across just told me just like that. That was it.
Right.
But if you accept the defeat before you even get on the battlefield, then nobody wins.
Right.
So I could not accept them telling me, you don't speak for me. I speak for me, and the residents of the city of Dania Beach will speak for me at the polls on election day. So they did everything to make sure that I understood that I was not going to get the votes and not going to get anybody to support me. But you have to do your due diligently. And when I say that, you have to work hard to convince people. One thing I learned a long time ago is that I don't like, and this is just me, I'm not speaking for any other politicians because I'm going to
Mhm.
name some politicians later on. But you never promise what you can't deliver,
Right.
because ultimately it's not coming from me anyway. I'm just setting it up, but I'm asking somebody else with a higher power to make sure that everything that I'm saying will be pleasing, not in my sight, but in his sight.
Right.
Long story short, the election comes around. We've got the 3 incumbents that are already in office. You've got the other 2 people that are there. Election night, we're waiting at Sweets Lounge. If you know where Sweets Lounge is, it's right
Yes, ma'am.
across the street from me.
Mhm.
That's where we set it up. We set it up so everybody could come to Sweets Lounge and watch the results. We're watching it, and of course, I'm coming in last right now. I'm looking at it, and we had 13 precincts at that time. We only have 5 now. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But 13 precincts, and I said, well, they said, you're not going to make it. Because you're last, and
Hmm.
these other people are way ahead of you.
Wow.
What they didn't understand was that we had, in the city of Dania Beach, we had 12,183 registered voters
Hmm.
in 1989.
Wow. Power of the vote.
Some of them voted and some of them didn't vote. But I can truly tell you how pleased I was with the outcome, because the Black community, and that was the Southwest community and the Northwest section, came out in full force. And our precincts were the last precincts to come in. And when those 2 precincts came in, and we looked at the numbers, and everybody started screaming, I go, well, what's going on? They said, you just won. And I go, what do you mean I won? They said, you came in first.
Wow.
So you know that the last should be first, the first should be last. One of
Yes.
those scenarios. And
Yes.
I was absolutely shocked.
Wow.
But I can sincerely tell you that when you are elected to office, then that's when the knowledge really begins. You have to understand that you have to learn the process of being an elected official.
Right.
Politicians are policymakers. That's what we are. We're policymakers. We're policymakers for our cities. We're policymakers for our county, and we're policymakers for Florida and the nation. So people look at what you do. So a lot of the things that they had on the books, the charters and the ordinance that related to the Afro-American communities in the 1950s and 60s, 70s, I made a vow that I would change some of those things so that it will reflect us in a light that we're not secondhand citizens, that we are first class citizens in the city of Dania Beach. And that's where it started. And I
Wow.
can remember the reflection that I got when my first meeting. They looked at me like,
Who are you?
well, she's not going to know how to, she's not going to
Mm,
run this meeting. She's not going to know how to do it. We practiced for 2 weeks. You understand? We practice
right.
what to say and how to say it and the professional way to say it and what not to say.
Right.
Then we start putting in policies that would change the makeup of how business was going to be handled in the city of Dania Beach. I was elated that I was able to get some of the Afro-Americans on some of the boards, some of the keyboards
Mm-hmm.
in the city of Dania Beach, which we had never had. Chester tried to put a couple of people on, and he did. And as soon as he got sick, they removed them. You know how they do stuff. I don't have to tell you that.
Yes, ma'am.
But I was able to do that to make sure that they were in key positions. I was in office from 1989 to 1997. And so you have 8 years, and then you have to sit out for 2 years. They put that charter in there that you can no longer run. You have to, for them, it was okay because they were doing it every 4 years. They were coming back and they were winning and they were winning. But I was a threat. Anybody that wins the first time out and win big like that and becoming the mayor of the city of Dania Beach was a threat to them. So it was hard for me. The first 2 years was a learning process. If you have never heard of the Robert Rules of Order book, that was the first book that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
I studied it. I understood the challenges that were going to be coming before me. And then I also respected the people who elected me to office, black and white, by the way. I was shocked when the numbers came in because I got just as many votes on the white side as I did on the black side. Remember, the city of Dania Beach is election wide. We don't have districts. A lot of cities
Right.
have districts. We don't have districts. You run for the whole city. 8.5-mile radius. You run for the whole city. So in 1997, I'm getting ready to retire from Bell South because I worked for them from 1967 to 1997. Have my 30 years in, and I said, okay, so this is it. So I guess I can just relax. Okay. And I get a phone call from one of the most prominent people that I've known in South County and Broward County, Congressman L.C. Hastings. He said,
Wow.
there is a seat for state representative, and I need you to run for this seat. I said, I just retired. He said, I don't give a, and I'm not going to
No,
tell you
that's
the word,
Al.
but
That's Al. That's Al. We know Al.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't care. This is the paperwork. This is what we need to do. And we will go and we will file. And I ran for that seat. There were 4 candidates. Ann McKenzie, I'm dating myself. I'm saying a lot of stuff. I know that a lot of people don't even know the people I'm talking about, but she was our state representative and she was actually coming out of office. So it was her seat that we were running for. There were 4 candidates. I was the only black candidate and I was the only female. I lost that election by 664 votes. But Tim Ryan eventually did win that seat. I supported him, and I was glad. I was glad about it. So then I just meditated with my family and everything. But I want to mention the people who helped me get started in politics. The people that came to my first campaign rally. None other than the E. Pat Lockins from Pompano Beach, Florida.
That's big.
And I couldn't, he said, I don't know why she's running, and I don't care, but she asked me to come and support her, and I'm going to do that. And along with her was Carl Weaver from Pompano, Carl Nixon from Deerfield, Sylvia Portier. I know everybody knows the
Yeah,
legendary Sylvia
yeah,
Portier. Carlton Moore, who was the president of the NAACP, the vice mayor of Fort Lauderdale, and also commissioner. And Helen Miller from Opelika, Robert Ingram from Opelika, and Carrie Meeks from Miami Bound, who was the baddest woman that I have ever sat in a room with, because she was just awesome. And the Reverend Bishop and law enforcement officer Jimmy Brown. If anybody you don't know those names, you need to Google all these people I'm talking about,
great.
because they are the ones that helped me get where I am, and I appreciated them. So I will talk a little bit about when I came back. That was only 8 years.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about when I came back into office in 2010 and served until 2018. But Mr. Brown, that is it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell
Yeah,
you also about
yeah, because I that was a part of my the next question. I'm like, how she go from a analyst at Bell South into the political scene? So you answer my question. You just answer my question, because I always wondered, hey, how she get, if I'm not mistaken, you had, I don't know if it was when you ran for a state representative or you ran for mayor, you had Jackson Ice Cream Parlor endorse you, if I'm not mistaken.
every election that I ran in. Jackson Ice Cream, Mr. Monroe was my champion. He was my champion. And he said, whatever she needs, whatever she wants, I am going to support her. Because in the 1970s, I went to him when he had Jackson's Ice Cream, and also Mrs. Solomon, who had Pig and Pay Supermarket. You remember those two
Right.
stores?
Yes, ma'am.
They were the Jewish guys that owned those stores. And I went to them and asked them, look, you don't have any blacks working in your stores. I really need you to do that for me. And they looked at me, they said, we never thought of it that way. I said, I don't want them to be bag boys and working behind the meat counters. I need some of them to be on the floors. You understand what I'm saying? And I said, and I also need you to give credit to my residents. And then on Friday when they get paid, because sometimes they work and they don't have the money from paycheck to paycheck, but they need the food. Those two people, Mr. Solomon and Mr. Monroe from Jackson's Ice Cream, supported me not only by word of mouth, but they put their money where their mouths were.
Wow. That's big. Yeah, because I saw that on your thing. I'm like, oh gosh, she had the Jackson
Mhm.
Ice Cream Parlor and Restaurant. That's big right there all by itself. Because
It was huge.
they've been in Dania forever. That
Yes,
parlor's been there forever. So
it had.
yeah, that was the thing. So before you get into some more, you're added about where we're headed, because we're gonna talk about voting tonight. We're gonna talk about
We have to. It's too
yeah,
important not to.
yeah, and we're gonna talk about the things that you have going on. But I want to start here though, because this is a part this can go into what we're talking about voting. But I listen, I said it last night and I'm gonna say it again. Listen, I love and I appreciate these celebrities, these artists that are coming forth and endorsing Vice President Harris. Like I said, like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Oprah, now Billie Eilish, and Dick Cheney and Jane Fonda. She's out on the street knocking doors, and this is wonderful. And there's many, many more. But this is what I said last night. They aren't the savior. We still got to vote, because where they are, I mean, I know, and I was telling someone this last night. They were like, well, they don't live, they're not here in Florida. But I was trying to get them to understand Taylor Swift got people all over everywhere. Beyonce got people everywhere from Florida to all over this country. So they have an effect. They can't have an effect in Florida. And I appreciate that. But there's no better effect if we as as the community here and in this area, in the Florida area, the black community come together. This is a time for unity. I said it before. One thing I understand, I felt at the during the convention, the Democrat convention, was unity.
Yes.
We heard that, and it's important. It's important to for us not to just settle for that, but we still have to work. So my question is to you: how important is it for us, as just not just Black American, but all true Americans and citizens, to know that we are voting for not just our life but our rights?
It's the most important thing that I can ever think of, because I think about what my great grandmother and my grandmother went through, that they could not vote because they didn't have that right. And I remember my mom telling me in high school that you will go and get that registration card and you will vote. You will vote. It is important that we work together, and we have some key people here in Broward County that are working with us to make sure that we get out the vote. We started on yesterday with the colleges in Broward County, making the phone calls from the phone banks, encouraging the young people to please go and sign up so that you can have your voters registration card by October 9th. We also hit the high schools, because you've got kids that are in high school. Some of them are 18 years old already. And
Yes.
then we are encouraging them to please go and sign up and get your voters registration card, because it's important. Now, I'm going to tell you that I am just elated that Percy Johnson from the Greater Fort Lauderdale Democratic Club was one of the delegates for the convention, and he brought back a lot of information for us, and we
Right.
have been networking with that. And I'm sure that you know Reverend Catrice Johnson from
Yes,
Ebenezer.
ma'am.
Okay, she is working with us to make sure that we get that vote out. And we have Susan Robertson from Hollywood that is working with us, that's signing people up to vote. And it's a very simple thing. I mean, you can even do it online, and that's what Taylor Swift has asked people to do. And
Right.
that's what we asked them all day yesterday. And then on Saturday, I'm sorry, on Sunday, not Saturday, on Sunday, we're going to have a canvas and a phone bank for all of South Florida. That's Miramar, Pembroke Pines, Hallandale, West Park, Hollywood, Dania Beach, and surrounding areas, to make sure that we touch bases with all of the voters in South County. If you have not checked your absentee ballots, you need to do that, because some of them they are purging and some of them they're taking off of the books. So you
Mm.
have to be very careful to make sure that even though you voted in the primary, you might not be able to vote in the general, because they have taken. I have had people call me to tell me I voted in the primary, but I just got a letter that, I can't vote in the general. I said, yes, you can, because we're going to redo it. We're gonna have you redo it. Vote. You're going to have to sign up again. That should never deter anybody. It's a simple process. Phone number 954-357-7050. Call them up and they will walk you through the whole thing and let you know what you have to do.
Give me
So
that
on
number
Sunday,
again. I'm sorry. Give me that number again, madam.
954-357-7050. Joe Scott is very open-minded. I mean, he will have his people call you back to make sure if there's a problem, if you've had an address change, you got married, or uh, you moved to a different location, whatever it is, he will be able to assist you to make sure that you get it right before October 9th. Now, I'm going to tell you, after October 9th, you can't change any of this stuff, because they're going to close the books on it. So you have to do it before October 9th. So when I look at it, we're going to have a canvas. We're going to have a phone bank, because we've been doing that for the last 2 months already in Hollywood. It's the Delaney Corporation at 2131 Hollywood Boulevard. The suite is 408, and we're going to be there Sunday from 9:30 to 12:30. Now, I know we all churchgoers. I understand that. But I want to let you know that if you can't go, send somebody. You
Right.
know, everybody in your household might not be going. You have a friend that, don't feel like going to church that day, but send somebody because they are going to really start pushing for us to make sure that we got everybody in Broward County registered to vote. Now that's something that I have to give to the Republicans because that's how they got us last time. You
Mhm.
understand? They
Mhm.
registered all those people and they voted. We sat there and we took for granted because we've got more registered voters than Republicans and we slept it. That's what we did. We slept
Yep.
it. So we cannot afford to do that this time around. This election I say, is more important than the election with Clinton, with Gore, and with Obama. This one is more history making that we have ever had in our entire lives. And I'm going to tell this to my brothers out there. I don't I don't know who you are, but you know who you are. Stop saying you're not going to support her because you don't know anything about her. They didn't
Mhm.
know anything about me.
Please.
Okay, but give her an opportunity to prove herself not only to you but to prove herself to the nation, and I think she's got it in her to do that. I really sincerely believe that she does. And if she doesn't, you got an opportunity not to vote for the next time. That's what they did to me.
Right.
Okay, if they don't believe in you, they don't vote for you the next time. So you don't vote for me. So you think I give up? No, I don't. I try and I try and try. And so 17 years, the longest running Afro-American in the city of Dania Beach. Hey, I got it. So you can't take it away from me if God's got it for you. I'm
Right.
serious.
Right.
Not
And,
because
and-
you're so good.
right. And we have to. We got to stop that foolishness. And I said it last night that some of them are showing their male chauvinist card and
Yep.
and talking about she's not strong enough. But you had a mother
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh.
raised you. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure your mother was a strong woman. I know mine was. And most
Mm-hmm.
mothers that bear kids and bear babies, that you try to do that. But
Yes.
not only is she strong, she's a strong black woman, but she's an intelligent black woman. She has her thing together and she speaks well. And I said it last night. After that debate, we had one person with presidential status,
Mm-hmm.
and we had one person that had a path of destruction.
Yes.
One person was a presidential standards. He had presidential standards, and he had a path for destruction. And and you want to say you still need to know more about her. She gives policies. Where's
Yes.
his? He's had 9 years to get the Affordable Health Act policy together. He hasn't got that yet. He say he got a concept. So when I hear that, it makes me quench. But then, like I said last night, we have to just let them be who they're gonna be. Those brothers. So that's bringing me to that because I want to play an audio clip dealing with that because that's the thing now.
Mhm.
That black brothers concerned about black brothers voting for Trump. And when you ask them why, because I'm gonna ask why. When I hear it, I ask, okay, why? Give me a reason why, and they can't. If you can't give me a reason why, so why are you even I don't want to hear the talking points. I don't want to hear what you hear on Fox. I don't want to hear what you hear on Instagram or Twitter or X. Now give me facts. And I showed it one time before, one time on here that I showed them facts of where Biden is with his numbers and Trump numbers, and his Biden numbers were better. And matter of
Mhm.
fact, if we talking about it, let's talk about this major milestone just this week
Yes.
with the inflation,
Mhm.
where we are in that debit. And here we are talking about the inflation is low. It's at an
Mhm.
all-time low. And you talking about the stocks are doing well. So
Give an opportunity for people to build a
yeah,
home, buy groceries, get a
yeah,
new car.
yeah.
Everything you need is in that package.
It's in her pack. What she's presenting is in the packet.
It's
What
in the
is he
packet.
presenting other than chaos? And maybe I told some guy, I say maybe you just like chaos. That's why you saying you're voting for him. You just like chaos. You like lies. You like to tell maybe you're a liar, just like he's a liar. I'm just saying. So I don't understand it, but I'm gonna play this because I think what she said, she was spot on how she answered it, and just cleared up some things for me when it came to that. Now I know how to respond when I get
President for all people.
okay. Well, here we go.
Black men, as you know, are a closely watched voting bloc. You've hosted Black men at your residence.
Yep.
You have engaged Black men and centered them in your economic opportunity tour. But polling shows that some Black men, particularly young Black men, are considering voting for Donald Trump, and they see him as better for the economy. What is your message to young Black male voters who feel left out of this economy, and how can your economic policies materially change their lives?
So I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'll tell you, I've often been asked this question in a way that I've had to respond by first saying that I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that Black men are in anybody's pocket.
Mm.
Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote. Not assuming I'm going to have it because I am Black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities. And I intend to be a president for all people.
Mhm.
I mean, there it is.
It speaks for itself.
Speaks for itself. She not taking, just assuming because she's Black she's gonna get your vote. No, she gonna lay it out and show you why you should vote for her, and she's been doing that. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Look, let me say this. I'm a grandmother, and I thank my daughter for the vision that she had to do that for me, to make me a grandmother. I have 3 grandsons. 137, 134, and 125. Same mom. The values that you teach those young men through their father as being the head of the household, military person, a working class man, instill the values in them that they can do and they can become anything that they want to if they work for it, not ask for it and want it to be given to them. So when they said what is she going to do for them? Do it for yourself first before you ask somebody else to do it for you. I can remember people doubted me when I ran for office and I said I was going to build moderate, affordable homes in the city of Dania Beach. And they laughed. They said, she's doing that because she wants your vote. She's never going to build a new house. I was sick and tired, and I put it in the ordinance and also in the charter that we build no more apartment buildings, no more duplexes in my community.
Mhm.
I wanted moderate homes, first-time home buyers in my community. 1990, we built the first homes in Dania Beach under Dania Economic and Development Corporation, as me being the president of that organization and me being the mayor and vice mayor and commissioner. We built 82 homes in Dania Beach, 2 senior citizens buildings in Dania Beach.
Wow.
Those young men and that said We weren't going to do it. Some of those were the first ones that I helped clean up their act, the credit cards and the bills and the girlfriends, and get everything straightened out so you can become a homeowner, have your home. Those are some of the people 2 years ago, 30 years, homes are paid off. We partnership with Mount Olive Baptist Church in Fort Lauderdale, right down the street from Walker Elementary School. We built an additional 55 homes with the partnership with them. And recently, with the Broward County Commissioners on Sistrunk, Dania Economic and Development have built homes in there, first-time home buyers.
Wow.
Start doing, and she is giving you an incentive whether you know it. In her package, she's talking about the $25,000 that she's going to give you as a down payment to make sure that your mortgage payment goes down. She is going to put in place that they stop gouging with the foods, because I mean, you go to the store now, they want bread and milk and everything is going up. That's in her package. Right. She can't do it by herself. She needs us to help her.
Right.
Nobody can do it alone. And if you think you can, you're a fool.
And that's the thing.
I tell you that sincerely. And I know she's not a fool because I've watched her.
No.
I watched her.
And that's the thing. They're so quick to say, oh, I had one guy in the barbershop say, oh, man, I'm tired of paying $6 for a loaf of bread, man. Biden them got us paying. I say, whoa. No. The economy is in a good place. I say,
it's in a good place.
It's the stores. The stores get to set the prices that they want to set. And I explained it last night. Right here in my area, I have 3 gas stations in my area, 3. And one of them, their gas is regular right now is at $6.30 at $4.34. $4.34. And then that's a mobile. And then there's another Chevron and mobile station and a Shell's also down, not that far from each other. Their gas price is at $3.15. $4.34 and $3.
Gotcha.
And people trying to wonder, and then they'll see that and say, see, Biden done got the gas prices up high. No, that's them. That's the person at that gas station. That's the owner at that gas station who said
that's what they do.
But so don't say it's Biden and it's Harris, got all the gas. No, it's not. Because I've been seeing gas, I've been seeing $2.99, $2.98 now, and things are going down. So I told someone the other day, oh, it's a shift happening. It's a shift happening. If you blind to the shift that's happening with what's going on, the direction that this country is headed, since she's been in this race, in her campaign, you just want to miss it. You just want to be blind to it.
And stop criticizing her and come aboard and help her and do something. I mean, we do a food bank here and I know that West Park does it also for my seniors. We do it every month. And I have a seniors program here in the city of Dania Beach where they're from 50 to 92 years old. There is not one person in here that we won't help. I don't care whether you were a school teacher and you got a pension and all this. We're all in this boat together. That's what I tell them. I have 137 of my seniors. And the former commissioner, Chicky Brandemarty, she's got 253 in her group. And we network together to make sure that they're taken care of.
Right.
Through the policies that we have set, not only in our city, but from the Florida League of Cities, the Broward League of Cities, and the National League of Cities. And we should be doubly proud that we have leaders that are going to excel. Felicia Brunson is going to be the president of our Broward League of Cities that will set all of the policies for all of us. And we should all just rally behind her.
Yes.
We really should. Yeah. I mean, these are people that are trailblazers.
Right.
And I want to say this to you because I think it's important. I don't take anything for granted because I know that I didn't do anything on my own. It was the people and it was God that led me to where I am. I knew nothing about politics, but you know what? I'm glad he led me in that direction. It was not about me getting rich and moving out of my neighborhood and going somewhere else and ripping people off.
Mhm.
I paid light bills, I paid telephone bills, I paid water bills and grocery bills, not because I wanted to be a big shot, because I'm not. I did it because that's what you should be doing. If you say you're a public servant, be a
Right.
public servant.
Right. Right. Got to be a servant. That's where it starts. Not someone that just take advantage of the people who put you in office.
Exactly.
And but we have a tendency to allow them to do it and not make them accountable for it. And I say it all the time. If you see your elected official not being accountable or not doing the things that they're
Call them out.
supposed to do, call them out. But
Got to
we have
call them
a
out.
tendency not to call them out. We have to call them out and make sure we put the right people in place that we know are going to support us and help us, not give us a handout, but be there when we need them and make things better for us. That's just where I am. This vote is so important.
It is.
It is so important. But we know it is that they're trying to suppress the vote. So could you just give us an insight of view and some of your knowledge about them suppressing the vote and how they're trying to suppress the vote and the ways they're doing it and what we need to do to avoid that?
You see it every day. The negative campaigning is the first thing that they do to us. And they try to pitch us against each other, which is very sad. The, the most important thing it is that I hear people say, I'm not going to vote because it's not going to make a difference. If you don't vote, it won't make a difference. I've lost by 4 votes before because people did not vote. I'm going to vote every election. It doesn't make any difference of the outcome, but I know I've done my due diligently. You understand? That's how important it is. And for us to be selfish that, oh, so I told you that person wasn't going to win. Well, they might have won if you'd have voted for them.
Right.
Okay. I have friends that are Democrats, Republicans, and independents. But as friends, we don't talk that way. We don't talk about what party. We talk about what we can do to make this state and this country better. That's my philosophy. If you want to do all that other stuff, don't do it. We need to rally around each other, reach out to everyone that you know. This is what I told them on yesterday, and this is what I'm going to tell my seniors tomorrow. Everybody in this room, there's 137 of us. Everybody in this room knows somebody in your family, somebody that goes to your church,
Right.
somebody that goes to exercise with you, somebody that goes to the grocery store, somebody that picks you up to take you to the doctors. Network with those people. Encourage them to vote, not only in this election, but all elections. And one thing that bothers me is that we go all the way to the top of the ballot and we forget about the cities that we live in, because that's where it really starts.
Right.
Your taxes, your millage rate, your water bills, your light bills, it starts there. Vote all the way down. If you get a ballot in the mail, you vote the whole ballot.
Mhm.
But you vote for those people that are going to lead us nationally, because it's going to affect the whole United States of America.
Right.
And that is too important for us to. When we vote,
We
we
win.
all win. And
Yes.
if you don't vote, then some of us that need to be in office won't win.
Right.
And then you're electing people that have hidden agendas. When we vote and we vote collectively as people, we all win. I remember the stories that they told about Dr. Martin Luther King and all the clergy after church, sitting in the dining room in the back of the church, having those meetings and strategizing what their next moves were going to be. We need to go back and do that and encourage our clergy and our deacons and our deaconesses and our ushers and the whole congregation to stick together along with our community clubs, our organizations, parks and recreation,
Mhm.
everybody that we know to vote and to vote collectively. It's too important.
And we say that all the time on normally on on this Wednesday we have a episode that we call let's talk about the things that matter. And my panel who with me, we're like, the church got to get more active. The church got to
Mhm.
get back into it, because that's where really
That's where it
it
started.
started. It started in the church. The church, like you said, they would come, they would settle, they would come and meet in the church and start
Mhm.
planning for the
Mhm.
next and what they're going to do. They always came and came together and planned and put it together before they act on it. But it was unity. It was unified. We have lost that because I think the church had kind of gotten away from it and trying to stay out of the politics. But we can't, as church, we can't get away from it. It's a part of, because we have members that needs to know, that need to
Yes.
know who's running, that needs to know who's participating, that needs to know who's running. We're having, at my church, we're having a get out the vote rally on next month. And so we in that, I think they're going to talk about who's running and who to vote for, who's a person that we got to know. But you got to reach out and you got to try and find out. My thing is, Madam Grace, is that if I know something, I've shared with somebody else. But a lot of times we have people that know but don't talk about it. And like you said, you need to tell your brothers, your cousins, your aunt, your sisters, and your nephews, your godchildren, and God whoever. They need to know how important this thing is, because if your vote was not, and I hate people, oh, my vote, if your vote was not important, did not mean anything, you think they'll be going through all that they're going through to try and suppress it? No, they wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
Listen,
Absolutely not.
listen, there are some places right now, there are some states, some states where they have jokers, vigilantes, standing at the polls, at the polls, and standing around the box, and with their guns, trying to intimidate folks. They're stopping vans that they think that ballots are in, and stopping the van, holding the van up by gunpoint, and breaking into people's vans and finding out that is air conditioner parts in there. So this stuff is happening.
It
And it's,
is.
it's sad that it's happening, but this is what's going on. So when people say my vote don't matter, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong. It does matter. It's important. It's very important, because you think these clear folks gon' go through all that they're going through just to just to do it. No, they know your vote matter.
They
They
have
know
a
your
hidden
vote
agenda.
important.
Mhm.
Yeah, very much so. So don't fall, don't lose sight. We got to vote. We got to come together.
I work with Bold Justice, and I know that
Mm,
Reverend Michael K. Anderson is
with that.
really one of those people, in the the Jewish synagogues are working with it, to because we worked very hard to make sure that those people that had records, that they were cleared. And I dislike the way the governor of the state of Florida just flipped the script and saying that yes, they could vote and then they can't vote, and because of who he wanted to be in office, and which was very sad. And some of those people got the clearance that they could vote, and when they went to the polls and voted, they thought, "Oh my God, this is awesome that I." And then after the election, then they wanted to come and arrest them. So we're trying to clear that up. We're trying to clean it up because it's a lot of stuff that we have to do, and
It's a
it's
lot.
sad that we live in a society like we do now. If they can't get you one way, they'll try and get you another. You know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Because I
mean,
was up,
it's
I
it's
was up.
it's there.
Yeah, I was upset when they changed about the mail-in ballots.
Yes.
I was really upset with that because my duty for the elections, I would go around to all the seniors' house
Hmm.
and pick up their mail-in ballots. I would go and collect all the seniors' mail-in ballots and brought it and dropped it
And
into
then
the
they told you you can only bring in your
now.
own.
Right now, you can't. They have to physically bring it. So I told them that's okay. I got an SUV now. So I had a
Hmm.
car then. I got an SUV. So I got a little more space. If I have to go and pick up all the seniors that I know on the time when I can do it and take them, physically take them and let them walk in and do it, that's what I'm going to do. I keep saying this. Everybody can play a part.
Yes, we can.
Everybody can play a part. Everybody has something to do. That was my thing. That was my thing. You know, I thought about it. I say, well, what is it that I can do? How can I contribute? How can I help? And it hit me. One of my aunts called me, older aunt, she called me. She said, Jeffrey, can you come pick up my mail-in ballot and take it for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, auntie. And then I had another aunt call me and say, uh, um, uh, your aunt told me that you taking her mail-in ballot. Will you come and get mine? Sure. And that's how I started. I said, you know what?
Yes.
Let me just go and pick up all the seniors that I know that have a mail-in ballot. I'm gonna call around, see if they have a mail. I'm gonna go and pick them all up. Now I can't do it, but I can take them.
You can take them. Yes, you
That's
can.
not gonna
That's
stop me. I'm gonna take them.
what you're doing. What you're doing is good because that's what we're doing. We got a van and
Mhm.
it sits 15 people. We put them in there and take it right there.
Take them. I'm gonna take them
Hmm.
and let them go in, drop it off, do what they have to do. And
Hmm.
some people can write letters. Some people can draw posters. And I mean, everybody has something that they can do.
They do.
Because you don't have this platform, that don't mean that you don't have a way of being a part and helping out in this fight. Because it's a fight. It's gonna be a fight until November 5th.
It's too important for us not to be in unity. I
Yes,
mean,
that's
uh,
it.
just watching to see what happened with Springfield, Ohio, and I said, don't you think it cannot happen down here? Because South Florida, we have a
All right.
huge Haitian community,
Yep.
and they vote. They truly vote. So I have two Haitian churches here in my city, and we're going to be visiting them and letting them know whatever they need. And I don't have to tell them to vote because I already know, because that's how I got most of my votes. The people that live in Dania Beach, they voted for me. And
See,
so,
just that statement. There's a and I told somebody there's a purpose, there's a reason, there's a
mhm,
method that they target Springfield, Ohio. They didn't
yes,
just do that just to do it. There's a reason. And you
that's a
said it
reason.
earlier. One thing I give Republicans fit, they're always they're probably 3 years, 4 years ahead of the Democrats right now.
Yeah,
Because if we were to think about it, who's gonna be the next for the
yeah,
Democrats?
that's true. That's
We
true.
can't even think about who's the next now for the governor.
That oh, well, the rumor is he's trying to run his wife, and
No,
we need
no,
to squat.
it's not a rumor. It's fact. It's not a rumor. It's facts. I got folks in the house in the governor place. It ain't no rumor. It's facts. It's facts.
which
That's what they're
which
doing.
is very sad.
It's
Very
sad,
sad.
but that's what
That's
he
sad.
can keep it.
But
He can
that's how
keep
they
it
do it.
agenda.
That's how they
He
do
can
it.
keep his agenda going
Yes.
because he know you know he's gonna still be running it even though
Yeah.
she's there. But who is our next? Who is our next?
Yes.
Who
That's
is
right.
our next for governor? Who is our next for president? But they already working on it. And that was part of that 20 project 2025. They have
2025.
classes. They have classes grooming the next.
Mm-hmm.
So I give them that. Even though it's a ridiculous piece of paper, but I'll give them
Absolutely
that. They
crazy.
are preparing for the next. Who is our next? And those who should be the next, they're running away from it.
Yes. And you got to stand up. You got to stand up and you got to fight. Somebody has to take the initiative to stand up and be accountable. Because we need new leadership. You can't depend on us. My birthday is coming up on the 29th. I'm going to be 79 years old.
Oh, wow.
So there is no way that I'm going to go back into politics. You need to pass the baton to somebody else.
Yeah.
But from 2010 into 2018, before I walked out the door, I made sure that I added stuff in the ordinance and in the charter for the city of Dania Beach. And then we implemented that our millage rate would stay the same for the next 7-8 years, because we got Dania Point, which is a $1 billion. I mean, and we made them become a community partner, so that when we have something going on, especially in my community, because I can walk to Dania Point from my house, to make sure that we get things in here for my seniors and for my young people, for the parks and recreation, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's soccer, whatever it is. You have to put policies in place to make sure that you're taking care of the generation that we have now and the generation that's coming up. And I believe that Kamala Harris is that kind of person that's going to be looking out for us in the near future. And I believe that she will do an excellent job. I truly do.
Oh,
And
I know.
I don't put my name behind a lot of politicians. I don't. Because I remember when I started, who helped me. And I know that they didn't have to, because they didn't know anything about me, but they helped me. And you never forget where you come from.
Right.
We came here. There was my mom, my dad, and 3 kids living in a 1-bedroom apartment. But I can smile today and tell you that all 3 of those kids got their own homes, their own businesses, and did very well in whatever endeavor, whether it was in banking, whether it was in military, whether it was in Bell South, whether it was in Dania Economic and Development. It's because of what they instilled in us, and the values is too important. Right. We win if we all vote.
Yeah. We vote, we win. Hey, y'all, you've been locked into the South Florida Live podcast. Tonight, it's an evening with the lady, Madam Bobbie Grace, just sharing with us, giving us so much information on what's going on. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Madam Grace, last words. Just talk to our viewers. Just give us last words.
I'm going to do my part. And I believe that you will do your part as citizens of the United States of America, and especially of Florida, that you will reach one, touch one, and encourage them not to be a statistic, but be part of the process. Vote, and vote hard, because they're expecting us not to. Reach out to everyone that you know, whether it's a friend, a relative, a co-worker, no matter who. Encourage them to vote, because every vote does count. Trust me, I do know that. And when you vote, along with me voting, when you vote, we all win.
We all win. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for being with me, man. Listen, this is an honor. I wrote this down on paper that Madam Bobbie H. Grace gonna hang out with me. She went on my podcast, boy.
I got the connections.
Yeah, listen, I really appreciate you, because like I say, I learned about you through my brother, and
my favorite.
Now I get to know you for myself. What to say? When Joe was told, he was told about about the Lord, about God, from everybody else, and and until he experienced it for himself, he said, "Now I experience with my own eyes. I've experienced it for myself now." So who this Miss Bobbie H. Grace, and I know you now, and I experience you, and you are everything that he said you are. You were. So
bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part. Thank you
pleasure.
For just sharing so much. Once again, give that information I put it in the comment section. That's the phone banks in Hollywood, right? This Sunday.
That's going to be on Sunday at the Delaney Corporation at 2131 Hollywood Boulevard. And the suite is 408 from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And it looks like afterwards they're going to congregate and have a picnic. I'm not sure where it's going to be, but I'm sure once you get there, they'll be able to tell us that. That is so important.
Okay. So you heard it right there. I put it in the comment section. So you guys got that information. So, hey, be there. And let's unify. Let's come together and make this thing happen. Once again, thank you so much, Madam Grace.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
you for joining me. God bless you. God bless you.
You too.
Hey, listen, you've been locked into the South Florida Live podcast. Hey, listen, y'all, I'm flying right now. I'm on cloud nine. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all know who I had on my show, on my podcast. This is big. This is big. I am so honored, man, to have her on my show on the podcast tonight. It was an evening with the lady, Madam. I call her Madam. I call her Madam Bobbie H. Grace, the former mayor and commissioner of Dania Beach, and just a long-time Broward County, political figure on this in Broward County for years, as you heard her say, and doing her thing. And guess what, y'all? She may be not running, but she's still doing her thing. She's making things happen in Dania Beach, and not just in Dania Beach, but in Broward County, period, as you heard. So, hey, let's keep her lifted up. Let's keep her lifted up in prayer and encourage her and once again, let's vote. Let's vote. Like she say, when we vote, when all of us come together and vote, hey, we win. All right. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. Hey, and as I always say, I'll pray for you. Hey, y'all keep praying for me. Okay. And my folks just text, hey, if you want to be a support this South, they be texting me. If you want to be a support to the South Florida Live podcast, it's right there. Information right there. Cash App, $ Power of Glory 777. And my Zelle is Jeffrey Brown 2094 at gmail.com. That's Jeffrey Brown, JEFFERY Brown 2094 at gmail.com is the Zelle. Cash App is $ Power of Glory 777. All right. God bless you. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. And let's watch God change things. God bless you.
Email your idea for show topics to the South Florida Live Show at gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to South Florida Live with your host, Jeffrey Brown.